I'm here in Lugano at the Planet B Forum, which this year has been a real success, and now talking to Paolo Ardoino, CEO of Tether. Before we get into the interview, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. We are on a mission to educate people about Bitcoin, and also we love your support and feedback, so please reach out to us. Paolo, over the last couple of years, Tether has been diversifying beyond the stablecoin product, USDT. Can you expand on your investment strategy? Especially, I would like to hear your thoughts on the future of finance, Bitcoin mining, energy, as well as computer apps.
So Bitcoin to me is not just a currency, but it's more than a currency, it's an idea. It's what actually Plan B stands for. We want to not think about just a finite currency as Bitcoin as the end goal of this journey, but we want to think about how the teachings of Bitcoin can be replicated in tech, from artificial intelligence, telecommunications, education, and so on. So that's why with Tether we start expanding our investment in different areas. In the last 2 years we made $12 billion in profits, and we distributed almost very small amount of money out of those profits, because we want to keep the majority of these profits in the company to keep investing in areas where there is too much intermediation. Like the success of USDT as a currency as well, right, is the fact that it's helping to disintermediate financial transactions and help people to be their own bank, right, have their own checking accounts. Almost 400 million people now are using Tether on a daily basis as their checking account and savings account. People that never had that opportunity before, right? There are 30 billion people in the world that don't have bank accounts, that are unbanked, not because they are bad people, just they are too poor of being of the interest of the banks, because they don't generate enough fees. So what USDT did really well is remove intermediaries from the equation and go directly to the last mile. But we can do the same thing with education. We can do the same thing with telecommunication. There are too many intermediaries. All the data centers, all the big tech companies, they're all intermediaries, most of the time unnecessary intermediaries in the equation. And so we think that with the teachings of Bitcoin and what we learn from USDT, we can do the same in other areas.
So interesting that you mentioned about, the USDT playing a role in the future of finance. I'm quite interested in looking, for example, at how AI agent could eventually fully manage transaction autonomously using stablecoin, for example. So what role you see Tether playing in this future? So I'm thinking like AI agent rather than humans, increasingly driving liquidity and also decision making in global economy.
It will be part of my speech today at 4 p.m. It's Unstoppable Together. I'm actually just going to describe that, in my opinion, in the next 10 years, given the amount of transactions that human beings will do on a daily basis, AI agents, robots, bots will do at least 100 times more transactions on a daily basis than humans. You have self-driving cars that will go around. They can pay themselves for recharging electricity, pay the tolls. You have fridges buying already today your own, if you finish the milk, they will buy milk for you. You have light bulbs that are paying for their own electricity. So that will be all digital. All those payments will be very, very granular, will be very, very high frequency. I think the future is giving to all AI agents non-custodial wallets with USDT and Bitcoin potentially, to have them being part of the economy and be able to transact and pay each other directly. So I don't think the future is having them and imagine if all these agents, like billions and billions and billions of agents, do you think that they will be connected to PayPal? Or do you think that they should have a non-custodial wallet so that their masters, that should be awfully the humans, can grant them some money and they can spend it through our conditions in the real world economy?
Yeah, super interesting. Now, I was reading an article on the FT a couple of days ago about Argentina and the $1 billion under the mattress, right? So I know the stablecoin are serve as a critical financial tool in emerging market. One interesting question is, do you see USDT and Tether Gold becoming a substitute of cash in emerging markets?
Yes. Yeah, the short answer is yes, because I think it's clear how USDT already did it. The cash in emerging markets is cash based on the local currency or is cash US dollars. So there are these two types of cash. But cash in US dollars is more and more difficult over time. It's always harder and harder for people to get cash dollars. And no one wants cash in their own currency, local currency, because that is devaluating very fast against the dollar. So that's why everyone is like 400 million people already discovered USDT, and they're using the USDT in their day-to-day lives for that exact reason.
So one of the concerns that kind of I have got, and I would like to understand how you mitigate that, is that over-reliance on the US dollars. So would this dependence on the US dollars, especially for in this volatile economy, can maybe exacerbate their economic fragility?
So definitely this is a broader topic on the US dollar hegemony, right? So, but keep in mind that we recently announced UAE dirham stablecoin, and we believe in the optionality. People should use what they're more comfortable with and what they prefer. I think that among all the currencies in the world, UAE is doing a fantastic job to retain wealth, to grow wealth, and so then they have very, very little debt. Look at the $36 trillion of debt that US have, and look at how much debt the UAE has. Almost nothing. It's like few hundred, maybe few billions, not even hundreds of billions. So for that reason, I think that having a stable-coin with the UAE dirham is a game changer.
Now, if we talk about regulation, I mean, you took a negative stance, took a negative stance on MiCA, and you share your views also in a couple of interviews talking to the US audience. Now, what the US incoming president can do to promote mass adoption of crypto?
So first of all, I'm excited to see that the US, finally Bitcoin is part of the global discussion, also political discussion. So we could say, as a community, we can say we made it, right? So we fought for so many years to get to this point, and now we are at that point, right? So there is an option. If Bitcoin is a crucial part of the political agenda, means that we made it. As an industry, we were successful in making us understood by the most important institutions in the world. Also, this year there was the ETF and approved. So I hope that the US will, because the world is looking at the US as kind of the place for the sensible regulations on new technologies. And historically, the US has been precursor of every single technology. So I think that I'm thinking of whoever will win in this election, I think that will be a net positive.
Okay, let's talk a bit around the debate around collateralization of stablecoin, right? So there is, so first of all, what type of reserves should be strategically held in order to promote a better economy, you think, as a stablecoin company?
I think so. What we do is we keep the vast majority US Treasury bills. We have 100 billion US Treasuries in US Treasuries. We're not a country, but if we are a country, we'll be the 18th country in the world. We hold a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of gold. We are 104.5% over collateralized. So it means that, when banks are under collateralized, they keep only 10% of the reserves. So we keep 104%. So, but we believe that is important for stablecoin issuers to keep reserves in assets like US Treasuries that represent the underlying, right? US Treasuries can be sold very quickly for the US dollar.
So do you think that gives you enough flexibility and ability to kind of be liquid?
Yes, absolutely. Because in the end, with the USDT, it's not that we can buy bonds of, France, right? So we need to be able to have US dollar debt and bonds so that we can sell them quickly back to the Fed. There is something called like a primary dealer. So we have Cantor Fitzgerald has our T-bills, so as a direct window with the Fed. So no matter how many, even if we had to liquidate 100 billion in a day, we can. And that is one of the reasons why we are working with Cantor Fitzgerald.
Interesting. So yesterday I attended this Bitfinex side events, and I thought it was very interesting what was discussed there. Do you think we can tokenize financial assets in Bitcoin? And kind of like, do you see Bitcoin being the base layer for the financial market of the future?
I would say so. I mean, I think the beauty of Bitcoin is a security layer, right? When it's and security is if you build on Bitcoin is also almost a transferable property. So you can develop technology on top of Bitcoin and layer 2s on top of Bitcoin that can inherit properties like security from Bitcoin and or leverage security from Bitcoin to help bringing traditional finance to on the Bitcoin layer. And you can only do it with Bitcoin because all the other blockchains, the value of the underlying currency, like ETH and Solana and all this one, is too small. In order to have the highest security on a blockchain, you need to have an asset that is scarce, that everyone can trust, everyone can verify, and so on. Bitcoin is that asset, right? So it's completely different than any other blockchain.
When we think about this infrastructure that is being developed, obviously we have got Liquid that is doing the job for now. But what do you think should we building more in order to create this infrastructure that enable financial market to step up to the next level?
Well, there is definitely Liquid, but there are other projects like RGB. That is a protocol developed initially by Peter Todd, Maxine, and Juko and others. This protocol helps to use, it's like network, but built for all the assets, like also centralized assets and so on. So I think what we miss is user experience. Most of it is, we cannot pretend that people that don't have our expertise in crypto to be able to use the tools that we create. Most of the time we create tools that are made for us rather than made for the other people.
Yeah, especially when it comes to financial institutions, they are even less used to use that kind of technology. Now, the final question, what is your focus right now on the building front, on the advocacy front, and on the investment front?
I would summarize it with 3 words: disintermediation, independence, and resilience. So everything that we build has to have that in mind. Disintermediation from unnecessary intermediaries. Resilience means a technology that can survive the worst case scenarios. And independence, technology that actually can empower people rather than being, peasants under the control of a big tech company.
Paolo, thank you so much.
Thank you.